Disclaimer, these predictions are just a glimpse into possible fashion trends for 2025. The following video is just my personal take. Fashion trends can change rapidly and individual preferences may differ. Feel free to disagree with me in the comment section. Hi fashion enthusiasts, I'm here to predict what's hot and what's not in 2025. If you like fashion hot takes and you love a good debate, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so the algorithm brings me back to you. To me, I don't think fashion is just about throwing on some clothes. I think trends are actually a form of social commentary. It's like a mirror to society. It's a reflection of how we're all feeling, what we value, and sometimes how we're rebelling. Let's rewind to the pandemic. We were all living in our loungewear and the athleisure trend kind of became our uniform. And when the world started opening back up, maximalism took over. We were all just craving for that dopamine hit because we were dressing like couch potatoes for 2 years straight. Now that the dust has settled a little bit, or has it really? What kind of fashion trends do you think we're gonna see in 2025? Are we still putting bows on literally everything? Can we finally say goodbye to low-rise jeans? Will the millennial peplum make the ultimate comeback? Here are my top 10 predictions for the biggest fashion trends in 2025.
1. Gender fluidity.
Gender fluid fashion is in and sticking to the binary is out. I reckon the blurring of gender lines in fashion will keep going forward. And let's give credit where it's due. I think Gen Z single-handedly took gender fluid fashion from the underground to the mainstream. It all started from a super grassroots social level, but I just love how big brands are now forced to pay attention to the wave that's been created. And here's my prediction. I think more designers will roll out gender neutral collections and the focus will be on inclusivity and individual expression. And it's not just about androgyny or the gender ambiguous look anymore. It's about anything goes. I predict all genders to cross-pollinate, try things out, and embrace the so-called femme and mask aesthetics, and that's just the beginning. I reckon going forward, it's important for us to see gender fluid fashion not only as a passing trend. Fashion is a form of gender affirmation, especially for gender non-conforming people. For some people, getting dressed every day isn't just about style, it's an act of self-love, a form of bravery and claiming your identity. So yeah, let's celebrate and support gender fluid fashion until we reach the day where these categories don't even exist anymore.
2. Look to the east.
Modest silhouettes and Douyin makeup are in, and bodycon silhouettes and heavy makeup are out. I think the rise of Asian fashion influence is undeniable, especially for the past few years. The rise of K-pop and social media made Asian fashion more accessible, so the world is looking to Asia for fashion inspo like never before. Also, a lot of second and third generation Asians like myself that are living in a Western context but still have pretty strong ties to our heritage. We're all keeping tabs on what's cool in Asia and sharing them with others. And because people have been deprived of traveling for the past few years, revenge tourism has bombarded social media with a lot of Asian fashion and beauty content. And let's be real, it's not new that Western fashion tends to borrow ideas from other cultures. Mandarin collars, kimono wraps, hair chopsticks, those have been around for a while. But what's new is how mainstream the Asian influences are becoming. I feel like the West is increasingly receptive to Asian fashion and beauty trends. You've got e-girl, Ozang, and Douyin makeup. And these are shaping the future of beauty and style. Here are some Asian fashion designers to feast your eyes on. We've got Shu Shu Tong, Hei Yin So, C+ Series, Feng Chen Wang, and Orly. I think the influence is shifting from the usual Eurocentric aesthetics to a more global approach to style. A great example of this is the TikTok trend of people ranking Vogue covers from around the world. People aren't only looking to Asia, but to the entire globe for style inspo. I think it's fantastic that different cultures are finally getting the spotlight they deserve. Let's be honest, the US Vogue covers are pretty underwhelming lately.
3. Anti-luxury.
Chasing quality is in and chasing brand names is out. This is a while back, but do you guys remember the creator? She unboxed her first luxury bag, a bag her dad bought her from Charles & Keith. Haters came out of the woodworks and started shaming her, saying that Charles & Keith isn't a luxury brand, but I also love how the internet quickly swooped in to defend her. And guess what? She became one of the faces of Charles & Keith's International Women's Day campaign. Another example, do you know Tanner Leatherstein on TikTok? The guy literally cuts up luxury leather bags and reviews them for a living. Some of the biggest luxury brands don't even measure up in terms of quality and durability compared to cheaper brands. I think consumers are finally waking up and starting to question the definition of luxury. The days of blindly chasing brand logos are numbered. I think people are starting to call out luxury brands for charging astronomical prices for subpar products. I'm so glad people have started looking to mid-range and local brands for better quality without the hefty price tag. Here are a couple of mid-range back brands Tanner Leatherstein recommended. We've got Pelen and Meloy. Feel free to correct my pronunciation because I have no idea. Look, luxury brands will always have their hardcore fan base, but the wealthiest of wealthy, they don't look to brand logos, they actually opt for quiet luxury. The rich have always gone for the if you know vibes. They don't go for flashy logos, they go for things that are well made and understated. And here's my take. The word luxury is totally subjective. I think it's up to each of us to determine what's worth the price tag, and I think this movement is collectively making us smarter shoppers. If brands want to get our hard-earned cash, they better step up their quality game.
4. Futuristic elements.
Digital bling and retro futurism are in, and kitschy 90s and flashy Y2K are out. Alright, let me just preface this by saying, your personal style is yours to own. If you love the 90s and Y2K aesthetics, keep rocking the style that makes you feel confident and comfortable. What I'm predicting here is just a broader movement of trends in general. It's not a mandate of what you should be wearing. Now, onto the forecast. I think fashion in 2025 will fully embrace a sense of innovation and technological advancement. We'll be seeing metallic fabrics, unconventional structures, colder tones like icy blues and silvers will become popular, and I predict Y2K pinks and neons to become out of trend. Here's the interesting thing. Even though it's got a futuristic vibe, it's got a retro spin to it. Take the Loewe Pixel Perfect collection, for example. It's giving Minecraft meets 8-bit games that I used to play when I was a kid. I reckon the essence of retro futurism from the 60s and 70s will make a comeback. It's like giving a cheeky wink to the past while we're dreaming up this brighter, more inventive future. As we all feel a little anxious about what's ahead of us with the rise of AI and technology and robots and war and global warming and all that sort of stuff, I can really see the role of fashion as sort of like a creative sanctuary. I think it helps us push aside those anxious feelings and allows us to dream of the utopian, better worlds that we strive for through creativity.
5. Avant-apocalyptic.
Dystopian dressing is in and immaculate perfection is out. About this trend, it all started with Gen Z's DIY craze and archive collecting during COVID. People were deconstructing their clothes and wearing them in experimental ways at home. They also started hunting down 90s collections and dead stock gems from the past. And guess what? Big brands have caught on, and now we're seeing Avant-apocalyptic on the runway. The general vibe is all about asymmetry, distressed textures, and monochromatic layers. Lots of straps, unexpected cutouts, punk and grunge inspired elements. It's chaos in the best way. Personally, I don't think this aesthetic will stand the test of time. Sure, it does look cool on paper, but this trend takes a lot of body confidence to pull off, and it's something that I don't quite have. But here's what I love about it. It's so upcyclable and sustainable. All you need is to grab some old garments, deconstruct them, and give them a second life. It's fashion with a conscience.
6. Bow.
Bows are in and rosettes are out. Remember those rosette neckties? They're mega cute and everyone was rocking them on the red carpet for the past year or two. No lies, I've already started seeing them in op shops. But I reckon bows and ribbons are the new rosettes and they are here to stay. But in 2025, I reckon bows will be worn in more diverse ways, not just in a romantic ballet core kind of way. Designers are getting bolder and more experimental. They're using bows as structural vocal points on a garment. Forget those delicate little ribbons. These bows are oversized, edgy, and unconventional. I personally really like the departure from the stereotypical coquette aesthetics. Bows in 2025 will feel less like a nostalgic nod to girlhood, but more like a form of self-expression. It's about taking something traditionally feminine and giving it a fresh spin, whether that's edgy, sweet, or somewhere in between. I think the new approach of bows and ribbons allows us to express our own versions of femininity. Personally, I think I can get behind this trend way more than the traditional ballet core style. I love how the power lies with the woman and how she chooses to interpret it.
7. Subtle yet impactful colours.
Rich yet understated hues are in, and blushy, muted tones are out. A while ago, WGSN, the world-leading trend forecasting service, dropped their spring-summer predictions for 2025 colours. Here's the lineup. We've got Future Dusk, Transcendent Pink, Aquatic Ore, Sunset Coral, and Rayflower. I reckon muted, blushy tones that have been quite popular for the last few years will make way for colours that are deeper, more nuanced, and more impactful. Okay, let me break this down further. I've always believed that the colour of the year pick reflects our collective emotions as a humankind. For example, Apricot Crush was WGSN's colour of the year for 2024, and it's all about softness and recovery. If you think back 2 to 3 years ago, soft, earthy colours were literally everywhere. We're all craving for neutral colours that give comfort and the restorative energy that we all need after going through chaos. But 2025 feels different. To me, the palette is richer, more intense, and it's packed with this underlying techie energy. The colours don't just sit quietly in the background. They make you feel something. I feel like the palette's got a storytelling quality to it. It sort of reflects our anxieties and our hopes. There's this sense of optimism, but also a sense of looming change. It's like we're all saying, okay, future, bring it on.
8. The return of classic silhouettes.
Classic silhouettes are in and extreme proportions are out. I'm getting kind of tired of the past few years. It's all about unconventional shapes. We've got micro minis, ultra low risers, skirts over pants, and I feel like the millennial peplum has quietly snuck back into the mix. Thanks to the 90s and Y2K revival, it's been a bit of a wild ride. But for 2025, I predict a shift back to classic silhouettes. Think tailored blazers, trench coats, and A-line skirts that are timeless and elegant. It's kind of like fashion is finally taking a deep breath and calming down with a more streamlined, refined vibe. People are leaning into pieces that are timeless and intentional rather than trendy and fleeting. I'm really looking forward to more chill silhouettes. Not sure if you're like me, but I'm starting to feel a little fatigued by the garish, kitschy, over-the-top styles that have been popping up for the past few years. It's like fashion is a car and TikTok is in the driver's seat, and we've all just been along for the ride. I'm all for dressing however you want, but to me, I feel like classic silhouettes are inherently more balanced, timeless, and size inclusive, and that would deter us from overconsumption.
9. Let's dial it further back.
50s, 60s, 70s, 80s elements are in, and 90s and Y2K elements are out. Okay, this one could be a bit controversial. I know a lot of people are still lapping up the 90s and Y2K trends that are all over the mass market right now. But here's the plot twist. I think the Y2K aesthetic is on its way out, and it'll be replaced by more vintage inspired looks in 2025. We're talking timeless dresses, coats, and matching sets. Big ticket fashion staples that are refined and elevated rather than kitschy one-offs. We're gonna start seeing bolder, sharper silhouettes instead of the relaxed ones like the 90s sweatshirts and baggy pants. Prints and patterns are also gonna be a lot more classic. I feel like it's gonna be completely different from the Y2K very distinct, timely, but not very timeless vibe. If my predictions are right, 50s and 60s tailored sets and 70s and 80s prints will all make a comeback. Don't get me wrong, I love the Y2K oversized, relaxed style. Look at what I'm wearing right now. But let's be real, I'm a little fatigued with all the overstimulation and the exaggerated silhouettes. What do you think?
10. Statement accessories.
The big, bold, beautiful and practical are in. The teeny weeny impractical adornments are out. Oversized bags, jewelry and sunglasses will dominate in the new year. I reckon they'll be used to add major personality to any outfit, and I think it'll be across the board from high fashion to high street. Brands are already bringing out bigger and slouchier designs to replace those micro bags. Even everyday fashion houses are joining the party. I'm sure you guys would have seen the viral Uniqlo drawstring bag or that COS quilted oversized tote. Statement jewelry is also making a big comeback. Chunky necklaces and bold earrings will replace the fine dainty jewelry. Don't worry, the simple gold and silver pieces will always have their place, but I feel like the spotlight in 2025 will shift to those statement outfit elevating pieces. I also think the one earring trend will make a comeback. A lot of brands are styling the models with the one statement earring to create that edgier, asymmetric look. I'm so excited to try this trend. I mean, I'm a statement piece girly. I've always believed statement jewelry and accessories can really elevate an outfit. To be honest, I've always thought the micro bag trend is a little silly. Your girl's got a lot of crap. Those tiny weeny bags don't hold anything. And that's it from me, guys. Are your predictions different from mine? Feel free to disagree and drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. To sum it up, I think 2025 fashion will embody a spirit of rebellion with a sprinkle of optimism. I see designers and creators pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. I feel like there's a collective creative movement brewing to counter the corporate greed, pollution and pessimism for the future. Fashion will become a collective effort to represent the hopeful future we're trying to build. And after 2024, count me in, I really need this. And remember, this forecast is just my perspective. Always go with what feels right for you. You should always base your fashion choice on your personal style and self-expression. And hey, feel free to come back and roast me throughout the year if my predictions are wrong. If you enjoy my fashion commentary and you want more fashion hot takes like this video, please hit the subscribe button so the algorithm will bring me back to you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.